Hello, everybody. I'm Kelly James Barker. Welcome to another edition of Spotlight on the Ozarks. My guest tonight is a gentleman that I met some years ago. He's from here in the Ozarks, and he's a music teacher, a musician, an auctioneer. He just does a whole bunch of stuff. And his name is Russ Weeks. And so don't go away. Come back after these commercial breaks and watch this interview with Russ Weeks.
Get a kick out of life. Well, I'm a city boy, but I was born to roam. It takes a pair of boots to make me feel at home. It gives me some personality, you know. Some says this is me. When you wanna get a kick out of life, go to JR's and do it right. JR's Western Store. Yeah, it's time you get a kick out of life.
And we're back after those commercial breaks with Russ Weeks. Russ?
Kelly.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
You have to watch moving around too much in these chairs. I tell the guests that each week because they squeak. These chairs squeak.
I understand.
Well, it's a cheap show, Russ. We have a cheap show here, and but we have fun.
That's right.
We first met back in probably about, let's see, what was it, 2013 maybe?
Probably.
That was when, I'll let you tell what that was, but that was when we met the two little young ladies, and you was playing music with them, and they had a couple of more fellows that played. I believe one played a banjo and a guitar, but the name of the group was actually from the girls, right?
Right.
What was the name of that group?
They went by That Dalton Gang.
Yeah.
Which they've evolved a lot since those days.
Okay.
But those girls started coming to me for fiddle lessons because of the guest that you had on last week, Brett Dudenhofer.
Okay. Yeah.
He plays everywhere, as you remember from last week's show.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl's grandpa had got a hold of me and said, I've got a couple of girls that are talented, and we would like you to start working with them. So I did.
Okay. So that's how that evolved then.
Right.
Came about. They was on Kelly's Country Junction, and
Yes.
that's where you played. And then they also did a show with us in Grove, Oklahoma. And I don't know if you were part of that one. I don't remember. But we did a show with David Church from ROKU Television, and we invited them to come and be a part of it. So that was back in 2014, something like that probably.
Right.
So they were still pretty small.
Right.
So they've grown up now, haven't they?
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
What, that oldest girl, what's her name?
Cheyenne.
And doesn't she do something besides music now? She's like an not archery, but
She's a
shooting
right.
stuff.
She's a professional shooter.
Yeah. Well, I bet the boys don't mess with her.
That's right.
I gave poor Brett last week. I gave him kind of trouble. He's been such a young fella and so easy to rib about the girlfriends and all. I said, "You want a girlfriend? You know, we get you one, but he didn't want no part of that."
I wanted to start hollering out names.
Yeah, I wish you would have.
But, I didn't want to do it off camera.
Yeah. You know, and here's the deal. When I was his age, the old timers would rib us, and I think, what is wrong with these people? They're nuts. Now I'm old. And so I understand why they did it. It's just in old people. Old people like to rib the young people like, "Hey, come on, boy, come up here. We got a girlfriend for you."
That's right.
Oh, Lord, bless his heart, he don't want a girlfriend. That's the way I feel.
I think he's just afraid to name one because the others will get upset.
Well, that could be. That could be. That's why I don't mention any. Yeah, right. So, my friend, what else do you do besides you teach music, or you used to?
I do. I still have students.
Okay.
Not as many as I used to have. There was a time that I had over 70 students that came in every week.
Every week?
Every week.
And how you made time for 70?
It was rough, especially trying to do other things, running a store and doing repair work and things like that. And it will kind of burn you out if you don't watch yourself.
Yeah.
But I still keep, like I say, a handful of students
Okay.
that I teach. My sister teaches a lot. She's kind of where I used to be,
Okay.
and she runs the store most of the time with me. And
Okay. Now you talk about your store. Where's this at, and what's the name of it?
Weeks Music, and we're in Buffalo, Missouri,
Okay.
which is just north of Springfield.
So you have a music store,
Have a music store.
and so you give your lessons there too.
Yes.
So if anybody's out there and they're in that area and they want some music lessons, would you take some new
You bet.
students? Okay.
You bet.
So we'll have to put that up on, give your location or whatever, and phone number or something.
Right.
Because you might pick up some more students out there.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. We do everything as far as what most music stores do.
Okay.
You know, sound system installation, repair work,
Okay.
things like that.
You've taught a bunch of really talented kids that have involved into, a lot of times you'll teach kids how to play music, and they take it just so far, and then they're, it's like, I don't know. Mom and Dad wanted them to do it probably more than they wanted to.
Right.
But you've actually, like the Dalton gang, the girls, and then Brett,
Right.
and probably others that you could name, that's actually went and took the talent and went with it.
You know, we put on a Christmas show at the store last Christmas.
Okay.
And we used to do a country music show all the time there at our store, at the building in the back. And we hadn't done that in several years because it's now an auction house.
Okay.
And we do auctions in the back room of the store, which is I call it a room. It's a 3,600 square foot auditorium, but we do auctions in there. But we decided for Christmas we would do a music show.
Okay.
And every person playing on the stage, with the exception of my brother-in-law, had been a student of mine
Wow.
in the band.
Wow.
So that makes you feel good.
Yeah, yeah. I never did take lessons. You can tell. Never took lessons. I didn't need them.
Well, you know, some of us got it.
We do. And I've always been full of it. I mean, I've always had it. So, Russ, you could help bail me out of this. So what else do you do besides, I know you farm, right?
I do.
Okay. Tell me about your farm.
Well, it'll hurt you.
Oh, yeah. You
You can tell that by the leg brace.
Mr. Mike knows what I want to do. Just go ahead. We already know we got a mic down here. Show the brace here. Yeah. This is farming accidents. See? Yes. Okay. Got that? Okay. Thank you. So now, how in the world, Russ, did you do this?
Well, I was unrolling a bale of hay.
Uh-huh.
The problem was I was too far on the downhill side, and there was too much weight got on when I extended, and it pulled my calf muscle in two.
Oh, man. They said that you're kind of prone to being hurt, like Tim the Tool Man. See?
They just say that because there's been a few things, you know, like
Just-
getting run over by your own truck and things like that.
You was run over by your own truck?
Yeah, that happened 9 years ago.
Well, wait a minute. Let's back up. Russ, how in the world did you get run over by your own truck? What was you doing?
It came loose from the block that was holding it in place while it was in neutral.
You left it in neutral?
Yeah, because the battery cable was bad, and once I got it started, I didn't want to shut it off, and my emergency brake wasn't any good.
No.
And
We had it in neutral. So, I mean, it was just sort of,
yeah, that's a standard, so you couldn't put it in gear. It took off, and I wanted it running.
Yeah, okay.
And I went around to shut my hood up because I had a block there that I was up against, but the block slid and the truck took off
Oh, boy. And where was you?
in front of the truck. And
So what did you do, Russ?
well, I decided that if I held on to it,
Oh, boy.
that I could keep it from hitting Dad's house.
Oh, no. Dad's house is in this picture.
Yeah.
Oh, you're hearing it here first, folks. This is...
And my arm was over just far enough that the corner of the house caught my elbow, and the truck kept going.
Ow. And that's 9 years ago.
That was 9 years ago.
And you can do this and everything.
I can't. God is good.
He is good. That's yes. But he's also probably wanting you to watch it. So probably got a whole mess of angels around you. Them angels going, Russ Weeks? No, I'm not going down there. I'll tell you what we are going to do. We're going to a break, and we'll be back with some more from Russ Weeks and some more stories. I bet this guy's got a lot of them. I want to hear some of them. So do you. Come back right after these messages.
Hello folks, my name's Jason Richardson. I'm the lead guitar player for Kelly's Country Junction, and I'm here to tell you about MJT guitars made in Carthage, Missouri. If you would like a custom-made vintage-style guitar, then you need to talk to Mark Jenny. He'll help you out with the style, feel, and sound you are looking for. They specialize in custom-made finishes and are priced affordable, made with you in mind for the perfect sound and fit. MJT guitars, made for the working man.
Hi, I'm Terry Wayne Sanders, inviting you to join me and Kelly James Barker on Spotlight on the Ozarks right here. We have a lot of fun. You're going to get some scoop on the Ozarks, things you never heard of before, and stories you can tell your grandkids. That's right. Join us right here on Spotlight on the Ozarks.
And we're back after those commercial messages with my guest tonight, Russ Weeks. And when we left, Russ was telling us a story about being run over by his own truck. And now the rest of the story, as Paul would say. So how did you get this truck stopped, Russ?
Well, it actually stopped with my arm. It ended up kind of messing my arm up. It broke my wrist and tore the nerve membrane out between these two bones and exploded my elbow. But Brett's mother said that it was 2 weeks later I was playing a show with him. I'm not sure it was quite 2 weeks, but it was very close.
Wow.
I know that he had a show to play at a rodeo, and I had to learn how to play chords in a different way because my hand still wasn't moving.
Yeah. And probably your arm.
Right.
You'd have to.
Right.
Yeah. It'd be a little different if you had it all crushed up and everything.
Yeah.
Wow. So I don't know how you did that. I'd probably just stayed home.
You can't do that. Being a musician's like being a rodeo rider.
Yeah.
You just got to cowboy up and go on.
That's true.
That's
I mean, that is the truth. I've done that a lot of times. So it's partly why I'm in shape I'm in,
Right.
Some stupid stuff. We've done a lot of stupid stuff on the road, and I've hurt myself. If you could wreck it, fall off of it, or whatever, I'd do it. I've done it probably. So fell off motorbikes and wrecked them and wrecked cars and shot myself in the foot when I was a kid.
That wasn't an intelligent thing. No. I don't know if I'd tell that on the show.
Well, I didn't do it on purpose. But it hurt, boy, it did hurt. Ooh, my whole body said, "What did you do?" And I'm like, I've hurt myself. My grandpa took my gun from me, Russ. I was just a kid, 13. Shot myself. Yeah.
He had good reason to take the gun.
I shot myself. Yeah. And also, I will tell this one. When I was 8, what I did was I hurt my back. And that may be what started my back hurting. I was 8 years old, and I'd watched Mary Poppins. We had a 3-story barn. And I got on top of it with an umbrella. Yes. And I waited for the wind to pick up, and I thought, this is time to go. And I ran to the edge of that with my umbrella, and my cousin was about 13, and I remember hearing him holler, "Kelly, don't!" But that was all, "Don't!" That's all I heard. And Russ, I'm going to tell you, you've seen the cartoons when they go out on the edge and they just stand there?
That's right.
And they go, uh-oh, and then they fall? That's wrong. I went out, my umbrella went, and I was, phew, and I landed on my feet, flat-footed. And I ain't lying, when I started walking off, I felt like that, the Roadrunner and that Wile E. Coyote. And he would like do this because hurt. That's what I felt like. I felt like my steps were going like that. I hurt myself, Russ. So see, you're not the only one.
I'm glad I'm not in a single boat. There.
Tell me another one of your stories. Where you heard it here first.
Well, that's okay. I could go on for hours about my.
Well, go on for the next couple of minutes. Tell me another one.
Probably one that everybody wants to talk about is when I cut my thumb very badly with a planer one day.
With a what?
A planer, like you plane lumber with, a power planer.
Okay.
I was going to change the blades because they were getting dull.
Yeah.
The wrench slipped. My thumb hit straight on the planer blade and it went right through it, took the side of the bone out, and kept going.
Wow.
I pulled it up there and held it together.
Yeah.
I had a young man working for me at the time, and he wasn't old enough to drive. And I said, "Do you know how to drive?" And he said, "Sure." And I said, "Drive me to my wife. She's got to take me to the hospital."
Wow. Yeah.
We got to the hospital, and the best part of it is when the doctor come in, he didn't speak English.
Oh, no.
The only thing he could say was, "I think I can. I think I can."
I think I can. Oh.
Yeah, but I still got my thumbs. So.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
No.
Being sliced up like that. Yeah. Well, I'll tell a thumb story. My thumb right here. Again, I was about 8, maybe 6, and my dad was a truck driver, so I was with him in the rig, the old rig, But so I was over and I was going to shut the door, and I, for whatever reason, had that thumb right in between the door. Boom, boy, I hit it. I started screaming. My dad's like, what? So he had to get out, come around, and open the door. That thumb's a little flatter, Russ, than this one. Just a little bit. So that hurt.
I can relate.
Yes. Well, enough about that. Tell me more, Russ, about what you do in your store and your farm and stuff like that.
Well, as far as Weeks music goes, one of our signature things is fiddle restoration.
Okay.
I do fiddle restoration from people all over the United States.
Oh, wow.
They ship me fiddles. They'll have, maybe it was their grandpas or their dads or great grandmas or.
So you restore these fiddles?
And I do restoration work on those.
Wow.
I've had people send me fiddles from Hawaii.
Wow.
From New York, from Florida. I had a gentleman that drove to my shop all the way from Oregon.
Wow, that's a haul.
To bring me a violin that had belonged to people in his family since around 1700.
Wow.
And so you get to see a lot of interesting things when you do that.
How long have you had your store?
23 years.
Okay. So you teach over there still, you teach, and then you do restoration. And
Right.
Do you sell, what kind of instruments? Do you sell guitars and banjos?
Yes, we do. We're not as full line as we were 12 or 15 years ago.
Okay.
The market has changed. Everything evolves.
Yeah.
But yes, we keep guitars and banjos and mandolins and, of course, a lot of fiddles.
Can you get me a Morgan Monroe
I can.
banjo?
I can.
For around 150. You didn't let me finish. 100. Let me finish, Russ. Give me a Morgan Monroe banjo, and I want the open back for about 150. Can you do that, Russ? Can you?
Well, I just have to do a little checking.
Okay, well, you check, Russ. Let me know.
I'll do a little checking.
We'll drive up there to the store. I'll bring the cameraman, Mike. We'll just take off.
That sounds good.
Have you got a Ruby Tuesdays up there?
Well, no, you'd have to go to, is there one of those in Lebanon? Have to go to Springfield, I guess.
Well, yeah, we know there's one in Springfield, or a couple of them there. So they closed them down over here in Joplin.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, I don't know why they did. They took Denny's. Not Denny's. They took, what was the other place? Bob Evans. Man, I love their breakfast.
Yeah.
Took all that out. What's wrong with people, Russ?
I don't know.
The world's changing.
It is. It's a different place than it was when I was a kid.
Oh, definitely, and that's for real. And we're not even kidding, man. But anyway, we were talking to Brett there last week about playing at the seed company or a seed place? Have you done some picking over there?
I did.
Baker Seed, isn't it?
Probably one of the first ones that they ever held there I played at.
Okay.
I had a bluegrass gospel band that we toured nationally for a couple of years called Mount Zion.
Oh, wow.
And they had us there, I think the first year they ever held that.
Wow. Now, when was that? How long ago?
Boy, I can't even think. I know it's been
a while. Because
Yeah.
Barry Wynn, when we met Barry, he was already doing the shows there. That was back in 2011.
Yeah.
So, and that was before that, I guess.
Oh yeah, we were touring in like 2003 to 2006,
Okay, it's been around.
7, somewhere in there.
I know that's really evolved into something pretty big. You
Yes.
know. So a lot of people. Some of the names that played there that I know is Barry Wynn,
Right.
Michael, I believe he's been there. Maybe not. Maybe. Yeah. They say yeah. Emily Dowden Estes. She's another little gal.
Yeah.
And she was on Kelly's Country Junction.
Yeah.
So I knew a bunch of them played there, but they never did invite me to play.
Shame
Never
on
did.
them.
I know. Well, I know. I'm not doing it now that they ask. Think they'll ask?
They might.
I doubt it. Don't matter. That's okay. We'll let Barry have it. Poor little guy's got to have something. Speaking of, you restored the fiddles, and he restores mandolins, I guess. Got wind mandolins.
I play a wind mandolin that John, Barry's dad, built.
Yeah.
Actually built for himself.
Oh, wow.
And I was a kid, kind of grew up playing some around Barry and hanging around John. And
Yeah.
I talked John into selling me that mandolin.
Oh, boy.
And I still play it to this day. And Barry licks his lips every time he sees it because he wants it so bad. And Barry, you're not going to get it.
Are you going to never sell it back to Barry?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, yeah, poor little Barry. I got to have him on the show sometime. You know, he's a good kid. He's misunderstood.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, I know I am. What about playing music now? Where do you play at, or what are you doing?
I play a few things here and there with Brett
Okay.
Dudenhofer.
Okay.
And then my brother-in-law is Dan O'Callaghan, who is a remarkable guitar player.
Okay.
And him and I do some duet things around.
You have to bring him on the show sometime. You guys come back.
Yeah, he's a fabulous guitarist.
Okay.
And we do a lot of things that are maybe a little different. You know, Jerry Garcia, Bob Dylan.
Oh, now you're talking my kind
Right.
of stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely got to come back with him. Bring him. So that would be cool. They're telling us we need to go to commercials, so I guess we're going to go to one. But we'll be back with a wrap up there. And time just goes fast when you're having fun.
It does.
It does. I always enjoy listening to somebody else get hurt besides me. Okay, folks, my guest tonight is Russ Weeks, and so we'll be back right after these messages. Fonzie. Hey, Fonz. Did you watch Kelly James in the 70s review show?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's Hey.
Hey.
We're back after those commercial messages. Russ, while we went to commercial, some of the folks here in the studio was talking about you, and heard this little story about about you and a girl that you used to like. And tell me what happened. Tell all of us what happened there, Russ.
First off, you have to realize I was just a kid.
What's a kid? Define a kid. How old?
10 or 12.
Oh, gee, you really was a kid.
I really was a kid.
I thought you was like maybe 16 or something. Yeah.
No, I was a young boy, and I had noticed the girl that started to school there that came in from out of town. And
oh, Dave was always the best.
Yeah.
We didn't want the ones that was already there.
She was just so cute, and she came to watch me play.
Oh, no.
But I fell off the stage and broke the neck out of my fiddle looking at her.
Wow. So did you marry her?
No.
Okay, well, because usually that's how that story ends. So what happened to her? I married her, She bought me another fiddle. How did you get started? Because we've talked about, you've got so many kids started. How did you get started?
Donnie Wright had Branson on the Road. Mm-hmm. I know that Donnie and Debbie and Brian, they've worked with you.
Second season of Kelly's Country Junction, there were cast members actually about
right.
Yeah.
Well, Donnie got me started when I was 7 years old.
Wow. So you really go back to Donnie Wright. Then.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. He's sadly missed in the music world.
Yeah, I remember when he passed away, I was just kind of shocked.
He was my mentor.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the things after I was grown and out playing on my own, it was a highlight for Donnie to ask me to come play on a show with him.
Yeah.
Because I always felt honored.
Did you ever get a chance to play with the group on Branson on the Road or anything?
I did not. I got called after Donnie had his first heart attack.
Okay.
Debbie contacted me and asked me if I could go out with them and fill in for Donnie.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had so many other engagements, I couldn't.
Okay.
But I did get to play with them right before they started the show.
Okay.
They had a small little theater, and I'd played with them on that.
Yeah, I think I'd heard about that, but then they started going out on the road.
Right.
So, and I think that Debbie's still out there with the show, and I think it's really going good.
Great. Great.
It seems like they pack the houses when they go.
You bet.
So, but yeah, Donnie was just such a great musician. So I always enjoyed his playing and had a good sense of humor.
Yes, he did.
We did some comedy stuff together, and he was talking about forgot the name of the place. Wasn't Bug Tussle, but it was Bug something, back where he was from. And we did this one, and the old corny one, I'm standing there and he comes out on stage, he's crying. Oh, I said, Donnie, I said, what's the matter? He goes, oh, I got a letter from home, up there wherever he was from. He said, they said my boat come in, my ship come in. I said, well, Donnie, what are you crying for? That's crazy. He said, I was down at the train station, and he walks off crying. That was a corny joke, but we milked it for a lot of miles.
You bet.
Well, Russ, I think they're telling us that we need to get out probably about a minute ago. But no, I think they're shaking their head. We're good, because usually I keep talking until we're 4 or 5 minutes over. Cameraman's already packed up, ready to leave. But it's been good to have you on tonight.
Hey, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I want you to come back with, it's your brother-in-law?
Yes.
Okay.
That'll be interesting, because he doesn't talk.
Well, we'll have you guys play some music.
All right.
Yeah. So we'll just move the mic back there and have you pick a little.
That works.
Do you have original stuff?
Sure.
Okay, because that's all good. We like original stuff. So, well, I'm not sure who's going to be on next week, because we never know. Hardly ever know, unless, sometimes we know, but I don't know. So next week we'll be back with another show. I may not be back though. It's my show, and if I get mad, I'll fire me. Oh, I won't put up with it. But anyway, we'll be back with some kind of a show. Maybe Mike wants to. You want to come and sit over here? Okay. Well, we'll be back next week with some show. Just join in, okay? You've been watching Spotlight on the Ozark. My guest tonight has been Russ Weeks.